All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about SoFi today, this company that's aiming to be your one-stop shop for, well, basically everything related to your money.
And right off the bat, this quote from their CEO, Anthony Noto, really tells you everything you need to know about their game plan. See, they're not just trying to be another bank, they're going after a very specific crowd, the overachievers. Think high-income earners, folks who are super ambitious. For a lender, that's the dream, right? Customers who are way less likely to default on their loans.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll get the big picture of what SoFi is today. Then we'll jump in a time machine to see where they started, talk about the one move that changed everything for them, break down how they actually make their money, and finally, we'll take a peek into the future to see what's next.
Okay, so first up, what exactly is SoFi today?
Yeah, you really can't think of SoFi as just some app on your phone anymore. This thing is a beast. It's a full-blown digital bank, it's the biggest online lender in the US, and it even provides the back-end technology for other financial companies. We're talking over 12.5 million customers and counting.
But it wasn't always this massive financial powerhouse. To really get it, you got to understand where it all started, which, believe it or not, was on a college campus.
So check this out. It all kicked off back in 2011 at Stanford. The idea was super niche. Get alumni to fund student loans for current students, offering them better rates. But wow, did that idea grow. By 2015, they're doing personal loans and mortgages. Then comes a huge move in 2020. They drop $1.2 billion to buy Galileo, a banking tech platform. A year later, they go public using a SPAC, and then, the final piece of the puzzle in 2022, they become a real national bank.
And this slide just perfectly sums up that evolution. They went from that one single student loan product to what they call a financial supermarket. I mean, look at this list. You can manage basically your entire financial life, borrowing, saving, investing, even estate planning, all under one digital roof. It's pretty wild.
But out of all those big moves, there was one, just one, that was an absolute game changer, and that was getting that national bank charter. So what is a national bank charter? It's basically the golden ticket from the US government. It says, congratulations, you're not just a tech company playing with money anymore, you are a real legitimate bank. This is huge, because it lets them operate across the whole country under one set of federal rules.
And just look at the difference it made. Before the charter, SoFi was kind of stuck. They had to rely on other banks, they were dealing with this crazy quilt of different state rules, it was slow and it was expensive. But after the charter, boom. They're independent, they're faster, they're way more efficient, and they're saving a ton of money.
MarketWatch really nailed it when they said the timing couldn't have been better. This wasn't just a good move, it was a perfectly timed strategic strike that let them lock in their spot as a major player in the industry.
Okay, so now that they're this supercharged bank, how does it all work? How do they actually bring in the cash?
Well, they've built this really clever three-engine model. First, you've got lending. That's their bread and butter, the original business, making money off interest. Then there's the technology platform. Remember that Galileo company they bought? That's engine number 2. They basically rent out their banking tech to other companies. And finally, the financial services engine. This is where they make money on fees from stuff like stock trading and credit cards.
And this diversification is so important. I mean, look at this. Almost half of their revenue now comes from things that aren't lending. Why does that matter? It means they're not totally at the mercy of interest rates and credit cycles. It makes the whole business way more stable and resilient.
And it's clearly working. The proof is in the pudding, right? They're pulling in hundreds of thousands of new members every single quarter. That's a 41% jump year over year. People are obviously buying into this all-in-one idea.
All right, so let's shift gears and look to the future. What's on the horizon for SoFi? What kind of external forces could change the game?
Well, for one, they're jumping back into crypto. After stepping away for a bit, they've gone all in, becoming the first national bank in the US to let you trade crypto right inside their main app. It's a bold move that shows they want to be the place for all kinds of modern financial assets.
And then there's politics. You've always got to watch policy. There's been talk of a plan that would limit how much students can borrow in federal loans. Now think about that. If the government lends less, where do students go? They might have to turn to private lenders just like SoFi. It could be a huge opportunity for them.
And Wall Street is definitely paying attention. The moment that news started circulating, the stock shot up. We're talking more than doubling in just 3 months. It just goes to show how much these policy shifts can impact the market's view of a company.
And what about inside the company? Well, they're all in on AI. They're using it to speed things up on the back end, but they're also building cool tools for you, the user, like a cash coach to help analyze your spending.
In fact, their CEO sees AI and blockchain as two super cycles that are going to be a massive tailwind pushing the company forward.
So, let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway here? Why does the story of a company like SoFi even matter to you?
Well, the bottom line is that SoFi is part of a massive shift in how we do banking. In the old days, you had your bank over here, your stockbroker over there. SoFi is taking all of that and smashing it together into one easy-to-use digital platform. It's built from the ground up for a generation that wants everything, right now, in one place.
And that really leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? SoFi is making a massive bet that this financial supermarket model is the future. But are they right? Is this how we're all going to be managing our money in the years to come?